No, aloha everyone. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. The past week was an excellent week for the overall market and for us overall at Big Wave Trading, culminating with an amazing move on Friday that we were long LK. But first, we're going to go over a few winners, the one failure from Friday, review the recent public long signals, go over another new public long signal, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But first, let's look at the SPY. The SPY on a daily still is strong. I really hate that that gap is there. I really hate the V-shaped move in it. I really hate that volume is contracting. I hate that the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline is lagging short term. I hate that J and K, junk bonds and high yield growth, are not keeping up with the SPY. But overall, you never fight price action. I mean, there's so many negatives. There's negative divergences between recent highs, at the high watermark here, the high watermark here at TSV. But overall, price is all that matters. Not going to fight it. Still on a short term, looking to eventually trade puts and a bear call spread. The three, maybe it might end up being the 315, 320s now for a quick retrace, fill back lower. Feel like that there's got to be a regression to the mean, but overall this is just not a trend I want to fight. And I want to remind everybody, I saw some people mention that the weekly Bollinger Band line price is now outside the upper Bollinger Band line for the first time since January 2018, but what they fail to tell you is that first happened back in October of 2017, and from that moment in 2017 to the final time that it traded outside of the Bollinger Band, they made a 10% plus move. So this is just not something I would fight. Also, another thing that I don't talk about a whole lot here, because on a daily basis I don't use it a whole lot for the indices, but we just came out of a squeeze with positive momentum on my TTM squeeze indicator. The last time that happened was back here in 2018 on a weekly basis, and we saw the SPY have a leg up of 5% following that. Time segment volume line is above the moving average on a weekly basis. I never really fight the uptrends in the market on that time frame. But then even if we go to the monthly time frame, we can see that the last time the SPY came out of a squeeze with positive momentum, it had, once that was back in 2017, a 20% move. And we can see here, we've just come out of another squeeze on a monthly time frame with positive momentum. What's crazy about this most recent move in the SPY is that my time segment volume on a monthly indicator, this has been one of the most reliable indicators on a longer term time frame. I have back tested this thing extensively in the SPY here to 1988, but I mean, we can go with like the Dow Jones 30. I mean, I can go all the way back here on Telechart with the time segment volume all the way to the 1935s. I mean, if we just, you see, once we open up the time segment volume, I mean, this is an indicator that I've back tested. I mean, I know for a fact that when this indicator on a monthly time frame is trending higher, really great things happen with the market. For instance, 2009 to 2011, right here. This moment right here in 2017, the top in 2017, this uptrend right here from 2013 to about 2014. And of course, back here, this was a really great uptrend, 2003 to 2005. That's like your sweet spot. That's your sweet spot where I tell you what, you got the monthly TSV in your favor, and if that lines up with the weekly daily, you can swing for the fences and have a lot more confidence and conviction in the overall uptrend and health of the market than when you can when it's trending lower. So my theory is, if this is what the market is doing when it's negative, what the heck is it going to do when it trends positive, especially if it's above the zero line? So we'll see what happens in the future, but for right now, SPY is strong. I don't want to fight it. So far, for now, want to be a buyer in pullbacks. As the price action in the next days and weeks come through, we'll see if that remains the theme of mine moving forward, heading into the next upcoming weeks. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch to Telechart version 7 and look at some of the charts. So first off, I'm going to go over the failure from Friday GOGO. Now, here's the thing with GOGO. I went long back here, and as it was moving higher, everything was normal. My first profit target was going to be at 723. It never made it, but when it crashed through this uptrend line on huge volume, that is always and forever a 50% sell signal, especially whenever it coincides with this magenta line, the 20-day moving average. So on an end-of-day basis on the website, this is a 50% sell signal. The next day it closes below the 50-day moving average. That's all on this website, posted in real time. That's a 50% sell signal. And then boom, we finally got the crash. This is a confirmation close below the 50-day moving average on heavier above average volume. That is always a 100% sell signal. But the 534 close also happened to coincide with the close below the signal date's low of day. That, especially whenever it's on heavier above average volume, that is also forever and always a full sell signal. That being said, at one point, GOGO did move. Let's just go ahead and go to right there. 15% from the entry. So you were able to probably lock in 10, 5% along the way. But what is the total damage if you held on all the way to the end of day basis? This is why buying right always matters. I'm going to round up negative 5% loss. That's very tolerable. So let's compare that negative 5% loss to the 4 winners I want to go over since we went long. The first one, a longer term winner, BLDP. You can see here clearly, this is whenever it was added to the system. Here was the long signal. BLDP, boom. Candle over candle, heavier above average volume, pocket pivot point signal, green bop, already in an overall uptrend. Worked right away. That's what I love to see. Don't always get it in this market, but I got it on this one. Pretty much a smooth hold only because this day right here, with it being lined up with the 200-day moving average and the signal date's low, I went ahead and moved my final stop to 343 that day. It held. So a little bit of luck there. And bam, BLDP has done nothing but trend higher since. That is almost a 100% gain in 6 months. Compare that to that 5% loss I just showed you. So BLDP, long-term winner. Short-term winner, XPEL. Listen, there's a lot of stocks I go long that don't go anywhere, barely go up, barely go down. My whole point in these video lessons is to show you the big movers, the big losers, the negative 5%er, and then the big winners to show you whenever you finally do get on the right side, what they can do and how quickly they can increase the value of a portfolio without needing to day trade full time. I tell you, I love day trading. I love the moves that stocks make intraday. You don't get that kind of stuff anymore. Like I said, you don't get a move like KERN over a period of days all the time with all my signals anymore, though I will admit that is a nice bottoming price bar on a daily basis. But still, moves like that, they just don't happen like they used to. So whenever you get on the right side of these, they're a little bit easier. There's less emotion. There's less adrenaline, less anxiety. This is really good for people that work full time. XPEL, 35% gain in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions. Tell you what, it's a lot easier to deal with that whenever you're having to work a full-time job, especially whenever your final cut loss level is right there. So this is what we risked to then get this kind of gain. And that's what I love about this methodology that I employ. INMD. Everybody should be beyond, who's watching these video lessons, should be beyond familiar with this name. INMD, now a nearly 80% gain in a little under 1 month. That's incredible. INMD, Cam Slim Quality, recent issue. Bam, let's see what that looked like that day. High short float, candle over candle, above average volume, came in my Cam Slim scan, positive bop, bam, perfect uptrend. And the final one I want to go over, LK. What is there to say about LK? I got to show you guys. LK, so here was my thinking on Friday. Normally, I set good to cancel buy stop limit orders at 2174. I also told everybody in the chat room that evening that I'm also going to set good to cancel limit order at 2173 in case it does gap lower. I only had coming into that session about 1.25% cash. So if it did gap lower, I wanted to guarantee a fill in this name before any other stock because there's a lot of orders that are still out there on the books, triggered and filled, and then I would potentially miss my favorite setup in a very long time. Now, this setup, what you'll see here is you got back-to-back hammer candles right above the gap up. It's kind of like support, 2 days of support. Above average volume both days. You had above average volume leading into it. BOP even increased on the Thursday session over the Wednesday session. This chart pattern, is the one that I've liked the most since I've gotten this one. So Powell back on this day, I really liked it. Had some early nice win potential, but ran into an overall rough market. Shook me out of a lot of it. Probably was way too tight with my stops. I still have a position, as you can see with the white arrow. Everything was looking good, just wasn't smooth. But POWL, this was my favorite chart pattern before LK. Before POWL, it was NRC. There were two different sessions that interested me in NRC. This one came after the POWL one, but the initial one was right here. I really, internally, personally, had high hopes for this setup. Big bop surge, big volume surge, nice candle over candle right above the 50-day moving average. I was thinking we could see something like this from that signal. A move similar. Beautiful setup. The only thing I don't like is the red over here. That's it. Everything else was lined up. But I guess it also ran into a rough market. Not sure exactly. Got to review it. Just didn't work. It just didn't work. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. It's not a friendly program to use sometimes. But either way, bam, 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 bam. Really wanted it to work. Didn't work. What's that have to do with LK? So LK coming into Friday looked like this. Whenever I saw this, and I knew that I wanted to do two different orders, all I could think about is ARWR. Now, ARWR is the last quote, quote, beautiful, quote, quote, hot setup to actually work. ARWR, earnings winner, this day triggers a long signal. I set a good to cancel buy stop limit order, 1 cent above 22.10. You see the volume in BOP, but the next day, woo! I really, like I said, don't like the red over here, just like NRC, but I love this setup. So now I have the previous good to cancel buy stop limit order out there. I put another one at 22.09, and what does ARWR do? Bam! Works! Boom! Gaps lower, rips through both of my good to cancel buy stop limit orders. Bam! I should be long 2%, or if this was a better market environment where the monthly was lined up, 10% of my account capital in this one, right? Wrong. When it ripped up through my stop and limit levels, they triggered. Neither one filled. It just ripped through those price levels, and either there were orders ahead of me on the books and or preferred buyer got the shares, missed ARWR. What did it do since after that? Nice, easy, smooth uptrend. Bam. 57% gain. So I missed out on that because my good to cancel buy stop limit orders that normally get me in and prevent me in being on losing stocks like that OSIS trade I gave out publicly that never triggered and then failed, keeps me out of stocks like that, kept me out of this one. Well, what's worse is that ARWR, after pulling back, look at it now. ARWR is now up over 110%. So that then takes me to LK. During the pre-market, I see it ticking a little higher and higher and higher. I am now afraid of possibly missing out. I don't want to have another ARWR on my hands. So as you will see on all social media, StockTwits, Twitter, Facebook, need to get on Instagram. Need to start using Instagram from my desktop. Not going to use it from my phone. Too old for that shit. Pardon my language. I really do apologize. But the bottom line is I didn't want to miss out on LK. And in the pre-market, I could see it ticking higher. And I just got that feeling. It's an earnings winner, 50% short float. I'm not going to get hit on my limit, not going to get hit on my good to cancel buy stop limit order. For the first time in 2 years, I day marketed a buy order. I can't remember the last time I've done that. LK opens at 22.07. Thank you, Interactive Brokers. I got filled at 22. Posted it on social media to show everybody that is where, in fact, where I got filled. 5 cents above the low a day. And boom, up 25%. What's amazing about this is that there was a member in the chat room, congratulations DC, who bought calls, and I don't know exactly what they were, but I know for a fact that they moved 300% for him. So on some of the ones that he sold, I know he's still holding some, but what an amazing trade LK was. 25% gain in 1 day. These are the kind of chart patterns I love. I wish there were more of them out there. I would sure have a lot more conviction in my long signals. But LK was the big winner. But that's the reason why I chase LK. It's because I haven't seen a good chart like that since POW and NRC. Neither one worked, but all I could think about was it looked like a RWR. I missed out on it by being too cute. So what the heck? I took the available capital that I had, marketed a buy order, put 1.25% of my account into LK, and that was it. That's all the cash I had. Following that fill, I was only able to get 3 long signals throughout the rest of the day. I come into Monday session with only 1% capital, less than 1% capital in my end of day portfolio. That's how well everything is working. And on that note, let's review the long signals that I've given publicly. Tesla, nothing to do here. Everything is good. I personally have a profit stop here, a profit stop here, and a final sell stop right here. So yes, I am tight, but you're supposed to be tight anyway once you get in a stock if you're in size. But Tesla, there's your uptrend line. As long as that uptrend line holds in Tesla, you should hold. IPHI, same similar situation. I keep raising my stops. They're not hitting, but so far the uptrend line is good. IPHI is a hold. SHOO, another public stock given out to everybody. Its uptrend line is holding. As long as that holds, there's nothing to do. It keeps working well. CPRT, remember the ad signal I gave everyone right here and how it shook out the ad signal, but still held these 2 levels, which I said are the final 2 levels you'd want to use if you don't want to be super tight with the uptrend line, which is what we drew right here. This is why I'm not always super tight, why I give things room to work. But the more important thing is I'm long CPRT from back here. This was the signal date right there. This was the entry date. So I'm still long CPRT with a 47% gain. But still, my whole point about not wanting to always stop out if it closes, notice how it closed on below average volume. It wasn't a complete violation and failure. It's bounced back. This is why I personally will give stocks room to work. And then the last one, ALGT, hasn't done much, but it's technically working. That being said, stop here, final stop right here. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, final stop right there. But once again, there's your uptrend line. As long as it holds, you stay into ALGT. So all of that takes us to a new long signal. I actually have quite a few for Monday session. Can't take any of them. All I can do is set them up in my Interactive Brokers Traders workstation, which is where I have my largest end of day account. And then as cash either raises via profit stops, profit limits, targets, or sell stops, I'll then call on the orders. But one of those orders is EVER. EVER was initially a long signal back here. So this is when EVER gave me a long signal. I got long EVER, and it was glorious. And it was glorious. This is a stock. It's on the website. The buy, the sell, everything was there. I took a ride for that entire 200% move. It was glorious. I loved it. Actually, I profiled this into my top current holdings when I had time to do those updates on social media. Profiled this one multiple times. But do you see this move in October here? That got me. This got me. Right there. Knocked completely out of EVER. Probably, in hindsight, it's always perfect, that should have been my final stop. The gap up low a day. It frickin' held. Bam. What would my gain in EVR be now, I wonder? Haven't even looked. This will be new for me to look. Great. 270%. But either way, EVR, recent earnings winner. EVR is from my Perfect Speculator scan. My Perfect Speculator is based off the book, The Perfect Speculator by Brad Kodeshwar. I recommend everybody go out, buy it, and read it. Find it on the internet, read it, but, you should support them. It's worth every dime that you pay for it. But more importantly, not only is EVR an earnings winner from my Perfect Speculator scan, but EVER has 12.5% of its short float. Hence this last move. Shorts are wrong. Following earnings, shorts are wrong. So what I see here is a bullish candlestick price bar right basically on top of this support line, which is kind of an upper trend line. So there you go. There's your upper trend line. The game plan with EVER, I got to raise the funds for it. 2860 is good to cancel buy stop limit order up and through it. There's your first cut loss level. There's your final cut loss level. I forgot to review the last long signal I gave everyone, SSTK, which also happens to be working. But guess what happened when SSTK triggered? It did not fill. My order at 4150 triggered. I had cash available at the time to get in it. Did not fill. Cancel the order. It came back in on Friday. I was fully invested once again when it went up through 4150. So it was canceled by the system of Interactive Brokers due to not having enough funds in that end of day account, because everything is working and LK supersedes an SSTK setup, even though I really like SSTK. But SSTK, if you got filled, congratulations. It's another one that's working. I forgot to draw you the uptrend line for all you guys to obey if you want to cut your losses with the close below. So there's your uptrend line. But EVER, that is the new long position. I really like it. Don't know if it's going to work. Also like that BOP went back to max green. Wasn't a huge volume surge on Friday, but either way, this is a chart that I like, and also it's a stock that already did very well for me before. It's almost like a regression line that cuts through all the prices too, that lower support line of that upper trend line. All right, everybody. Woo! Hope the video made sense. Haven't had my coffee yet before making this video on this Sunday Maui morning, hence all my little pauses throughout the video. Either way, if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell. I would greatly appreciate it. Wish more people watch these videos. I really like making them. Also, wish there wasn't as much work for me to do on an end-of-day basis. Would make a lot more videos, but right now, as long as this market creeps higher, I'm long a lot of positions, and they're all for profits, and I really am not, I'm very meticulous with my end-of-day orders. It takes a while to do every night, so as long as it stays like this, I'm probably going to be able to make videos on the weekends and a midweek update video on Wednesday. I would like to do one on the weekend, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, like 4 or 5 days out of a 7-day week. But right now, there's just too much going on. I'm hoping you guys are learning a lot from these videos. Either way, I love making them for you guys. I will see you the next time